Hey everyone, and welcome here to Force Sound. It's going to be an exciting video because we have Andy Mack here from Akai. How you doing, Andy?
Very well.
You have the Akai Force with you.
That's right.
What is it?
So Force is a music production and live workstation.
Also a word basically owned by George Lucas. But
yeah, but what I mean by that is it gives you the ability to basically perform in so many different ways. You know, the workflow on this is all pattern based, so we're dealing with like audio, MIDI clips. It's fully standalone as well, so it's not relying on any external computers, so you're not having to drive endless amounts of plugins and instruments and effects. Everything's self-contained.
So this is basically a musical instrument in a sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I would
you
say
created
so.
from this and nothing else.
Yeah. So you could be a DJ, you could be a live performer, you could be a singer, songwriter, guitarist. But the fundamentals of how you make music is very hands-on. It's very instantaneous, and it's very, I would suppose, versatile of how you can use a product like this. You can create your own workflow of how it, you know, how you want to create.
When you say pattern-based, I'm sorry, I don't really get what you mean.
Okay,
like...
so pattern-based is I'm basically filling a clip with an idea, which could be a 2-bar, a 4-bar, an 8-bar piece of audio. So think of yourself, say I'm a guitar player, I can plug my guitar into the input and I can put some effects on it in real time. We have a mixer view here where we can go into my inserts and let's just create a track. Let's hold down number 8. Make it an audio track, and I can put my record input, so I can go input 1, put it into record mode, monitor what I'm doing in real time, and then put some effects onto it, so I can go and put, say, a delay, and then you get to see all of these amazing UIs. And when you have that kind of technology where I can now sit here and play some chords, write some songs,
and edit everything in.
Yeah. So each one of these you could class as an audio idea, as a take. So it could be 4 bars or 8 bars. It depends on what I want to set this up as. Like I could say, right, every time I hit an audio clip, I want it to be 4 bars long, right, or 8 bars, like a looper, or I just want it to be as long as I'm playing for. So I can do my guitar part, then I could go to another track, put some vocal ideas down, bring in a drum loop as an audio, or play MIDI drums. Like I could go to my notes mode and play drums as a drum machine, or I can sequence them like a kind of like an 808 vibe where I'm using step sequencer. So having that kind of facility where you're using steps and you're using the, you know, the 8x8 grid, you can easily produce electronic music live without even thinking about it, because everything's tied to the grid and quantized. All these things cater for different types of producers, different types of genres, but you're not confined to it's only designed for this kind of music. Like we've had, like I say, singer-songwriters. I've had some very famous artists actually record sessions into this, and it's quite phenomenal sitting down and watching them plug a electroacoustic in and start putting vocal ideas down.
By the way, if you want to name drop, this is the perfect forum for it.
So, okay, so a good friend of mine, Seal, put some incredible stuff down in front of me, and it was quite astonishing hearing him lay down drums, bass, vocals, guitar parts just within 5 minutes, and came up with this amazing idea, reverb effects, delays on his vocal, and to see that happen in real time, it's quite astonishing. It really is, because it shows you that the art of songwriting in its most simplistic format has never gone away. You know, you could have 100 million tracks, but it still goes down to an idea of a chord, you know, chord progression, a drum, bass, and a vocal, you know, and that's all he created, you know. But then you can build upon that and start adding more textures with the technology that something like Force has. So, you know, for singer-songwriters and artists, it gives them the flexibility to have something where they're always traveling, they're in hotel rooms or whatever, and you've kind of got what you have in your studio. But again, you've got it in a standalone device that you can take anywhere. But that's just one concept. You know, I've got friends of mine now who are using this live, triggering audio stems, running a whole live set from this. Then you can move it. Then you move into the DJ electronic world of live remixing as well. So every time I do a video, I always sit and think, right, okay,
who should I aim this to now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where I can't think of a product probably apart from a multi-track recorder that could do that, because it's a blank canvas. You know, so this is for me, it's a multi-track blank canvas, but with with the best workflows that we're all used to. So you could customize this and make it your own and use it how you feel comfortable. You might even not touch the step sequencer. You might just use it for audio and guitar parts, you know?
But let's say, for instance, that you're a complete newbie. You have no idea. You just like things blinking. And you like music. Are there like presets already so you could do something, or is it like this is as you said, a blank canvas?
So let's just go to some of the preset stuff here. So there's a colossal library that's inside, which gives you hundreds and hundreds of loops, different types of loops, which are, you know.
Yeah, so you can basically just pull it out of the box and just go ape it. You go nuts and do whatever you want.
Yeah, basically. But there's some really cool features as well, which gives you like notes mode, which I'll show you, where you can play chords and go into different keys.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just show you some of the demos anyway. So there we go. Now you have a load of lights in front of you, but what does this mean, right? So think of this as an intro, verse, bridge, chorus, middle eight, outro. That's how you could utilize the clips
if you want.
So what you can do, you could come up with a concept idea across, say, 8 tracks, and then just copy them and then remove parts to build up your song. So you can literally perform just by hitting these buttons on the right if you literally wanted the most simplistic way of performing. So we could go, there's my intro, just a piano, and then we go to the next part. Now, it's always going to come in time because it's quantized. You can set it to like a bar launch, 2 bars, 4 bars. So again, if you're like a player on stage and you want like 4 bars before it comes to the next section, you hit that section,
and then when it comes to
so then you go to your next section. Vocals there, which is a little bit
and now it skipped this part. Okay.
Then we could go to the next part.
The bridge.
Then we've got these controls as well, where we can use, they're called like project controls on the knobs, where you can actually assign these and make them what you would like to use.
You said knob, it's just funny.
So what you can do, you can go, okay, so I'm doing live performance, but I need to utilize these controls for my gig or whatever I'm doing, or in the studio. So when you launch that section, I can just fill the
dry and
down. And then you've got EQ kills, which if I was mixing as a DJ, and that stuff's so easy to do. I could go to my Master Effects, and
that was just the presets, and it's it's a whole jungle of whatever you can do, and basically there's no end to the possibilities, to quote Jim Carrey from Cable Guy. But basically that's it. You can do whatever you want, and that's the basically the thing with the Force.
And that's what's great about it, is that it really is a blank canvas, and it's kind of like whatever ideas that you have in your head, your own sample libraries, your own melodies, you can put those into the unit with ease, because you don't necessarily have to have any musical theory knowledge at all. And I think there's tools out there now which give people those kind of needs when they're making music. Like if I'm doing a bass line, it'd be like, oh, what notes are going to fit with this? So you can just simply go to that mode. So let me show you, for instance. I'm going to go to a project in here. I'm going to go to my load, and I'm going to go to places, and I'm going to go to electric. And I got basically a vocal stem off an artist called Shift Keys.
And when you say stem,
it's the real word a cappella.
Okay.
We call it the a cappella vocal, but they're normally delivered in a stem. So I'd get the stems for the whole song, and then you can take the parts that you want to put into your live set if you want, or even if you're in the studio, you take a vocal idea to build your own song around it, and then pull out the vocal and write your own song over the top as well.
But does this even have, if you're a crappy singer and you want to use some vocal parts to do something, you can still like do what do you call it?
Auto tune.
Thank you.
No.
God,
So,
it was gone.
cut the cough. You don't.
No, I'm going to loop the cough.
Oh. Cut the cough. You don't have third-party external effects. You have all the air effects that came from Pro Tools inside, but you don't have tuning of vocals.
Okay.
You have pitch shifting and reverbs and all that kind of stuff. So you are relying on singing in tune.
Yeah.
However,
like playing in tune as well, if you want to record.
But
stuff,
you can, with future integration, you can just take the vocal, put it into the DAW, auto tune it, and then save it out as a stem.
Yeah,
whatever.
and then just load it. Yeah,
load it straight there. So what I can do just by coming over here, sitting in my hotel room, putting a load of stuff together, and then just bringing it down for a live set, it's quite phenomenal by not having my laptop, just a hard drive with me.
Yeah.
So if I start this off, I've got just a melody there, which is just a loop. So I could be going through a sample pack or something, and I find that. I think, that's really nice. I like those chords. I couldn't ever play them, but I wonder what the key is. Okay,
yeah,
I could play them, but so I go into.
But could you play them well?
Well, yeah, I'm not too bad. So here we go, D sharp. Okay. So I would then go to my.
Oh, so it does have. It could actually see what chord stuff.
Yeah, all the samples that we provide, all the packs, all the sample companies online. We're having Splice integration with this as well, so you'll be able to use Wi-Fi. This has got Wi-Fi built in.
Oh, okay, that's
connects
nice.
to Splice.
Okay.
It then imports all of your sounds that you've taken as credits from Splice, puts them straight into your internal drive, and all of that stuff is all key tagged and tempo tagged already.
Okay.
So it's kind of common knowledge now that anything people provide has got that sample data because of the amount of people that use it.
Yeah. Not that common knowledge.
Yeah.
But I'm learning.
I suppose it's like if you're DJing and you load up songs into the drive, you can see the tempos and the keys.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So,
I know about that, yeah.
Because it's funny, like the more DJs I speak to, they're relying on that information now when they're mixing between tracks. So we got that, deviate a little bit, so we got that playing. I can go to my drums. So this is just a fall on the floor kick. Then on this track, I've got a drum kit, which is pure MIDI. So I could go to this track here and go to this conventional step sequencer. Okay. Now,
and a step sequencer is I mean.
So let me show you what the step sequencer is.
I like making things, so I am going to buy this when we're done. But still, what is a step sequencer?
Let's get rid of these tracks here, and I'm going to create a new track. Okay. Edit. 4 bars long.
Oh, you can do this while stuff is going on.
Yeah, there we go. Right. So this is 4 bars long. I'm just going to make it 2 bars.
All right.
And we launch. So that's now running. Okay, step sequencer. So now we can just go through our sounds. So,
and this is the bars.
Yeah, they're the bars. These are my sounds, and these are velocities.
What did you do there?
So that's a vocal, right? So that's a vocal. I've dropped it in the step. So as it's playing.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you did like an offbeat thing. Okay.
But it's never going to go out of time. So let's do the off hats.
Yeah, because it's one side, so basically you can't fuck up.
No, you can't. So check this out. Double click, and nothing else does this. So I've now got my drums here, but I've now got my clips as well, so I can see my clips. But I could just go back to my step sequencer and go up here and see my clips. So I can go into all these different modes live and do like 7 or 8 different things all at the same time. So I've got my mutes, I've got my drums, I've got my step sequencer, I've got my clips and my crossfade, right, at my disposal. And I've also got mode, project mode, I've also got live control. Right, so let's bring the vocal in, right? Full switch. Next drum. I'm literally not doing anything special music. This is playing the vocal stem.
And that vocal stem is long though. That's the entire song.
So, and I can break it up. Copy. Move it. Now this is the vocal. So it's pitch shifting in real time.
You can change the tempo as well, probably. Yeah. It would be so much fun. No, we can't.
No, we can't. Yeah. No, you can.
No. People talk to me about that, and it's no, we can't.
Yeah, you can only work at 174 BPM. No. But this is the thing, like, you know, when you sit down with this, and depending on what kind of music you like and stuff, and I always try and demo commercial aspects of music because people can relate.
It's easier to understand. Yeah,
it is. You know,
but do you have, like, for instance, if there's a singer-songwriter or something, do you have like one of those packages or something that you like show? Or
you know, so,
and if not, sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I do, but there's. I can't really play what I have in here for. Actually, no. I tell you what. Actually, let me go to something here.
It's like secrets. You mean? Or is it just with rights and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Speaking of rights, while you're pulling that up, have you ever been contacted by any lawyers or anything because you've stolen like your name from Criss Cross?
No.
Daddy Mac will make you jump.
Right.
Mac Daddy make you jump, and Andy Mac will make you jump. No.
Right, no. I wasn't aware that they used my name, but now you've mentioned it.
Daddy Mac, so it's almost.
Right. So, I'll start from scratch. Now, on track 1, we've got 4 instruments inside here. So we've got hype synth, which is like, you know, super synth on steroids. You've got like every sound you could ever imagine. Sawtooth pads, different types of like.
Have you like downloaded that, or is it that a preset?
No, it's all being built. It's all custom by the guys from Air Music Technology, again, who, you know, came from the world of Pro Tools and virtual instruments and stuff. So it's a very, very powerful synth. We've got another one called Electric, which is like nice road sounds and stuff, Whirl it says. Then there's Tube Synth, which is a kind of a more, like virtual analog modeling on its synth. And then there's Bassline, which is like very kind of like 303, kind of like electro driven. It's got loads of sounds in. So you've got all these synths at your disposal. So the one that I've got up here is called Hype, and I've got a warm piano stack. So when I go to that, if I go Shift, Notes mode. Now, if I just take it out of Progressions.
Oh, you have the scale types here. Type of scale, chromatic scale. Okay, that's kind of cool.
And again, this is something that everyone's used to now, you know.
Everybody's bloody cheating.
Well,
it's like, learn the goddamn instrument. It's like, no, I just want to play in tune and everything is quantized. And
do you know what it is? I think we live in an era.
I know exactly what it is. It's laziness.
You don't have to be a great keyboard player, but it gives you the technology to be very creative. And you've got kids that are using these kind of devices and this technology that can create some of the most amazing things that even I listen and think, wow. And
to be fair, I mean, you still have to. The only thing that matters is the end result.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're completely untalented musically, it doesn't matter if you're cheating. It's going to sound like crap anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
But these things enhance what you do. It speeds up the workflow if you want. But it also makes it, you know, really interesting, because if you put into these modes the typical chords that you play as a keyboard player, it takes you out of your comfort zone. You think, oh, I wouldn't necessarily play that. That's actually quite cool. And then you might plug a keyboard into this via USB and start playing your typical patterns that you normally go to. So technology enhances what you do as well. So
what you could use with this, and obviously you can create samples. Obviously. You playing this, and there's a bunch of different types of stacks and instruments and everything. So you could basically do chromatic scale, you could do some other type of scale, you could do your own things, put them to a pad, and you're good to go, basically.
We'd literally sit here all day just going through all the different modes that we can do with notes and chords and progressions and scales.
Yeah. No.
So let's go to this one called Progressions. Now this is really cool because you've got endless amounts of progressions from jazz, gospel, pop, dance, and you can put them into these modes, and we've calculated loads and loads of different types of chords that you just play, and you find something that matches your song or gives you some inspiration. So we've got so you can go from that, and then you could
and you just play around until you find something that you like.
So if we go back to this number one. Now, I'm going to use that progression, but I'm going to use it on this plugin here, which is number 5, which is like a smooth pad sound. So let's record something like that in, right? So actually, here's one I made earlier, right?
Yeah, to save time. You're brilliant. Yeah.
So we'll do that. So I'm just going to play that, just the progression.
Yeah.
Right. So we can look at chords.
Yeah.
And we can highlight these and move them around and change them. But now let's go to our drums. So I'm on the drum track, press clip, and go to my drums. So we find some sounds that we like. Okay, I can go to my matrix, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to record a new pattern. So I hit arm, I'm on my track, and as soon as I hit an empty slot, I'm recording.
All right. And now it's quantized as well.
Yeah.
Automatically. Yeah.
And we got. And then over here, I've got some bass notes. So what I can do...
Is this a preset, or have you done this?
Yeah, I've done this. This is preset, but I've added to it.
Okay.
And what I've taken one of the notes, and I've copied it over here, and then repitched it. Just so I've got into the key, so I can I've got all my different notes for my bass line already. Let me turn off metronome. So I can go... So now you've got that there, but then I could bring in the vocal. So let's just say
the stems.
The stems. Yeah. So now I could either do that by going to clip mode, right, or I can stay in this notes mode, right. So I'm in the moment, so I can go.
But okay, so that was already basically kind of loaded. I mean, because it's in 2. I mean, so, okay.
No, I've retuned it as well.
Oh yeah, because you can do that. The pitch shift thing. Yeah, brilliant.
So the whole concept of that song is that you could take an idea like that, which is completely different from the original, remove the vocal, plug in a mic and start singing your own melodies over the top and everything, and create a completely new idea. Or you might want to remix that song to get yourself noticed or whatever and do your own flip on it. But all I've got is a synth with some chords, which I'm using notes mode, played a quick drum beat and hit and launch the audio clip.
So basically, to sum up, the Akai Force is basically, you could use it live, you could use it to compose, basically, you can use it to play around, even. I mean, you can use it basically for everything. It's like the world's your oyster. You have all the capabilities, you have all the choices with this.
You do. It caters for every style of music.
Yeah.
It's a very simple workflow of just recording ideas into each one of these clips, but then you can turn these into a drum machine or a step sequencer or a keyboard, and then use notes mode, because this I suppose real estate here has become such an important part of how people make music now. Same with the 16 pads on MPC. It's a universal format that people use either on stage or in studios or whatever, and it's the same with this.
Dear Andy Mac, thank you so much. And whatever you do, don't let the crisscross lawyers run you over, okay? Please. The Akai Force.
I'll have to jump. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Really nice.
Big
Thank you so
cool
much
name.
for coming, man.
Cool. Pleasure.
Until next time. See you.